Oh, by the way, I only found one snowball today. I have, like, a theory about the snowballs. Because I swear, I didn't mention this, but the snowballs, they do appear in very specific places. It's possible there's one or two spots I don't know about that are, like, hidden behind trees that I just can't find. But sometimes I find balls, you know, like a basketball or a volleyball in those spots instead. And I do wonder if, like, that can possibly just replace the possibility of the snowball being there. So they say there should be 2 snowballs, but if a ball spawns instead, it can knock out one of those slots. I have a theory, because every time, not every time, but I feel like most times, pretty much most times I found a ball, I only ever find 1 snowball. There are times where I find 2 with a ball, but technically you can spawn, it can be 3 that spawn in, according to what I've read online. So I think that's the rare case in which 3 were supposed to spawn, but one of them was a ball, if that makes sense. It's just a theory. I could be wrong, and there could just be a spot that, like, weirdly, coincidentally, spawns in whenever there's a ball. It spawns there. I've also, I have found one time, snowballs spawned in the same spot. So it was actually exactly here. Just 2 snowballs spawned right next to each other. It looked really weird, like they were, like, connected, like they were going through, like, cell division or whatever. It was really cool. I don't know. I think it was as cool, I guess, as that is, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm not going to show you the rest of me turning on the fountain, but whatever we get for it at the end, I will show you that. But otherwise, it's just kind of going to be the same thing, and you've already seen that, so I don't need to show it to you over and over again. But I'm still working on the snowman thing. I don't know when that ends, but it's going really badly. It's almost the end of January, if you'll believe it. We have not done much this month. See, this is how I always felt like the series was kind of going to go. Was like, at some point, there was just going to be huge gaps in between episodes, just because nothing's going to happen. But here we are. Here's Tortimer. Hi, ho there, Wes. Well, long time no see. Hey, how goes it? Everything been treating you all right? Let me tell you, officially, as mayor, a trip to a luxurious hot spring resort is incredibly invigorating. But enough about that. Vacation's over, after all. I've heard that you did exactly what I asked you to. Well, great work, kiddo. Now, as promised, I brought you a little present. So he actually does this both in January and February, so yeah, we get the lighthouse model if we do it in January. Doesn't it have a rich, sort of luscious, hot, springish smell to it? Oh, yepper. So that's pretty cool. So that's what we did. So I did that over the course of the past week. And we got the lighthouse model. Interestingly, if you do it in February, you get an entirely different thing. You don't get the lighthouse model. Well, I guess you guys can see my snowman efforts are been really pitiful so far. The reason for that, I don't know. I'm trying my best here, man. It's just what can you do, really? You know, what can you do? It's so hard. The ratios thing is just kicking my ass, man. I try it, and I'm like, oh, it looks perfect, and then it's like it's not. They're like, oh, well, you're an amateur snow maker. And then they just, do they have to take pot shots at my pride like that, It's like you could just, I don't know. It's too hard. Why is it so hard? It's not fair. Children play this game. Children. Anyways, there's nothing else going on today. Today is Tuesday. Sorry. Not Tuesday. It's the 2nd is what I meant to say. Groundhog's Day festivities. Thursday. I was gonna, I don't know, have you guys guess what day it was, but they gave it away. So it's Groundhog's Day. Not the most exciting holiday in the world. In fact, I don't even know if it counts as a holiday. I mean, nobody really gets Groundhog's Day off, of all things. Oh, man. 61,000 points. I am killing it. I actually do have higher points in the HRA than I've ever had before, just putting in rare stuff and like rare furniture and like the snowman stuff I've been collecting, which I can show you guys my progress on the snowman stuff. 'Cause I've been doing better than I expected to. That's talking about Valentine's Day. Well, that's another holiday we're doing in February. Here's my house. I know it's been a while. That's why I'm gonna show off some stuff, I guess. And we also do have quite a while until the actual Groundhog's Day event really kicks off. But it's getting pretty jumbled up in here. Everything in here, almost everything in here is a rare piece of furniture. There's a gyroid in the corner. That's not rare. I don't think the NES... well, they might count. This rock here, that's not rare. I could throw that out. Those two shirts. I think I can't remember if the moon is technically a special item. I know the Master Sword isn't, weirdly enough, and the Spaceman Sam back there is not. And I think this Wobblina, I don't think she is either. So there's a few things. Oh, and these two things are also not. Not that it matters, but you know, if I needed to throw stuff away, that's what I would do. Here's the progress on our snowman stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 snowman items, including the wallpaper. So we are actively making progress. I don't know when it ends, but I'm doing better than I expected to be. Like, that's not bad, right? Could be worse. So if we are able, you know, whenever that ends, I'll put everything together. Probably, I think I'm going to do it at the island. Just go to the island and redecorate that home, just because I know, like, I won't have to remodel and move stuff around, because that's going to be a whole thing. We got February tickets. I guess I should recap January. Nothing much happened in January, just Tortimer's vacation. I did the raffle. There was nothing interesting. Yeah, that's about it. Not the most exciting month of all time. It's over now, but we've got something immediately in February, so here we are. It's been a bit. How you guys been? Oh, Wendell's here today. I totally forgot about that. Well, we can do Wendell. I'm trying to catch myself and not... I feel like I start these off, like, the exact same way every single time. I'm like, hey, guys, today is this day. We're going to be doing this today. I also catch myself, like, ending the episode. Well, no, it's not even an episode, but I end it like an episode. I need to stop doing that. It's going to get really grating, because every, like... opening is going to be exactly the same. You're going to be hearing the same thing over and over again. That's no fun. That's kind of boring. I need to catch a fish, I guess. I caught a fish. I'll give that to Wendell, see what we get. I did write down all of the wallpaper that I have just to verify in case he gives me a new one. Honestly, I'm kind of tired of, like, holding on to all this stuff. I don't really know why I'm doing it. I say to myself it's because I'm never going to get it again, like, but am I going to use it ever? You know? I don't think so. I mean, I think I'm, like, good for now. Like, if I ever do, like, a remodel, I think I'm just going to do it, like, as a sort of one-off thing, like an event, you know? I'm not gonna do it multiple times, so maybe if I have one thing that's interesting, I might do that, but I don't know. I feel very much like just kind of hard focusing now to just do the things that I need to do and not stray too much from that, because I'm realizing at this point in the series, I have no idea how many episodes this is going to go, but I'm like, at this point in the series, like, just give myself less work to do by having less footage. At the same time, we got ringside seating. I don't know if I have that one. I don't think I do. I don't know. I also feel like, you know, condensing the episode and And the information that's going out is gonna maybe make these easier to watch. Because, you know, the more, like, pointless... I'm being too meta today. I'm being really meta today. It's because I gotta kill time. What time is it? 7:23? Because if I do the same thing over and over again, there's a snowball. Okay. Or say the same thing over again, and there's gonna be a lot of space that, you know, a lot of time taken up in the video that's just not interesting to watch. So... You know, people are gonna be like, oh, I've seen this a billion times, and then you're gonna not click on the video thinking you're gonna be seeing something new or interesting or exciting, you know? It's like, it's gotta be something that's literally not, you've not seen 100 times already. That's the only thing that's gonna be interesting to watch. Okay, I gotta keep track of the snowball. I think I have time, because it's not until 8 when that goes. I will say that I've kind of, at least, I think I've memorized at least most of the snowball spawn locations. There's one right in front of this museum. That's actually was a perfect snowman. That was one of my perfect snowmen. This guy's new, by the way. This is Scout. Where is he? There he is. This is Scout. You guys haven't met him. Or Scoot, sorry. You guys missed, I had a new villager who was, again, just showed up and then immediately left. I feel like it's kind of just a trend now. What's the best part of fishing? When fish bite. True. When do I pull up nothing but garbage, you know what I mean? You don't, do you? I don't think so. To tell you the truth, I didn't really understand it either. I had a new guy, his name was Sprocket. Sprocket was dope. He was like a robot turkey. Or like a, I don't know, like a cyborg sort of being. I loved him, and then he left after a couple days. And I was like, why does this keep happening? People move in, and then they immediately move out. And, like, I'm just stuck with, like, the old people that have been here the longest. They never move out. But every, like, new person shows up and moves immediately. Let's talk to this is Pee-wee. Last winter took forever to end, little dude. Maybe spring will come early this year. Ooh, wouldn't that be awesome? If you don't know, maybe I should explain Groundhog Day. I can't stand the cold, aye. I'm certainly pining for an early spring this year. Is there anybody else? Oh, there just isn't anything more exciting than gathering together. Oh, they call it Woodchuck's Day. Wait, what did I say? Or maybe that's just a joke. Oh, it is Groundhog's Day. So it's supposed to happen at 8, I believe, on the dot. So I think I have to be here at 8. But we got time to kill. So Groundhog's Day, if you don't know, there's a movie with Bill Murray called Groundhog's Day. It's the holiday's not based on that. It's just a movie that takes place on the holiday of Groundhog's Day. But I guess it's like a very American. It's probably American, maybe Canadian celebrated. I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it like originated in Canada. Who knows? But yeah, it's an American holiday. The movie is called that because it takes place on Groundhog's Day, which is on February 2nd. And the movie doesn't really have anything to do with Groundhog's Day. It's a movie about how one day that repeats itself over and over again. Anyways, that aside, Groundhog's Day, the actual event, is in the morning on February 2nd. There's like we find a designated like groundhog, which are kind of like, I guess they kind of look like beavers or prairie dogs maybe, and we wait for it. Apparently they like stop hibernating. Like, oh, he comes out of his hole. And the idea is, if the groundhog sees his shadow, that means there's gonna be, I think, like 8 more weeks of winter or something like that. It's just this sort of arbitrary holiday where we look at the groundhog, see if it sees its shadow, and then determine if it's if winter's gonna be really long or really short this year. That's basically it. It is one of the sillier holidays that we have, and it's definitely like an old American tradition, you know. It's definitely one of those where it's like we've just been doing it Did I sell... What did I do with that? Did I bury it? Did I bury the wallpaper I got from Wendell? I don't even remember. I'm on autopilot. It's hard to remember these things. Look, they're making out. Oh, well, I can't... Yeah, there's no point in asking him what's going on, because he's just going to say Wendell's here. Which is obvious, because he's literally in this acre. And no lost items. Okay. Well, I got time to try the snowman out. See if we can get a perfect snowman today on camera. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. I can show you guys that whole situation. Have you seen Groundhog Day depicted in like television or film, like cartoons or something depicting Groundhog's Day? Usually they have like a cartoonish... Oh, shoot. Obviously, I can't do this. Alright. It's like a cartoonish groundhog, and, you know, they'll actually depict it like looking at its shadow and then going back in the hole. It's not really actually how the holiday works. It's a very cartoonish depiction. How it actually works is like the groundhog comes out of the hole and they just look and see if like its shadow actually appears on the ground. That's how we determine it. It's not like actively it has to like look at its shadow. It's just if it has a shadow, which is kind of a weird, like, it's obviously it's gonna be dependent on the, like, you can kind of obviously predict it beforehand, like what's gonna happen. If it's, you know, really overcast out, the sun's not super bright, then you're not gonna see a shadow, you know. That's kind of the extent of the holiday. It's a silly, fun little holiday that probably not a lot of people actually follow or care about, because it's obviously just a bit of a superstitious holiday. I think the weird thing about it is it takes place on February 2nd, which is less than halfway through what we actually determined to be winter. So, kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. Is that interesting? So the problem with these being so far away is that this ball is gonna get real big, and then that's part of the problem. Is it's really hard to measure this stuff. But see, I can easily push it up a hill, and I can also push it across a bridge. I'm gonna see how big this gets before we get over, because I might actually stop rolling it. No, I'll stop rolling that. Let's try to roll the other one across the bridge. Time 32. Got plenty of time. Also, if you roll it over like dirt, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but if you roll it over dirt and or, I'm not sure about like bushes. Ooh, it almost hit that sign. They actually explode if you hit, if they hit signs. Let me tell you, this is a really annoying thing to do. By the time I get it over there, it's probably gonna be too big. Okay, where did I leave the other one? It's right there. It's not gonna work because it has to be off screen. I'm gonna try to do this correctly. This is not easy, by the way. This is very hard. I have messed this up more times than I've succeeded in it. That might be good. Oh, frick. No, I don't think... Ah! Oh, see, this is the kind of thing that just kind of happens. I think that would have been perfect if I flipped them. It actually would have counted that as a perfect snowman. I think that was really close, but it just wouldn't go on top for some dumb reason. And I went to move the bottom one out of the way, and it decided to connect. It's the kind of thing I've been dealing with. Is like most times it's just some stupid happens. That particular scenario has never happened. But, you know, sometimes you push it a little too hard, it goes into the water, or falls off a cliff, or, you know, hits a sign. And then you're just like, alright, well, can't do the snowman today. But, you know, that was not an optimal situation, mostly because the two snowballs were fairly far apart. One was down and one down on the bottom. but not the worst situation, I guess. I feel like I could have made it work. But yeah, it's definitely not been my favorite thing to do. But I feel like I've been getting progressively better at it, at least. Better at judging judging it by eye. I like to think that, but still, I mess it up a lot. Even when I do get the two balls together.